Chop it down. Chop it down. Chop it down. You gon' chop it down. Chop it down. You gon' chop it down. I just appreciate everybody watching. Watch him throw the ball. We gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through fourth and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders, heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep the cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive. This is Trap or Dive. Cleats tight. What's going on? What's up? Good morning. Happy Friday, man. How y'all feeling? What is going on here? Hold on, give me 2 seconds. How everybody doing today, man? Welcome into the Commanders Morning Show. Y'all know what time it is, dog. Y'all know what time it is. Where my morning tribe is at. Let me get my music going. Matter of fact, my bad. Let me get the administrative items out of the way. If you're just checking in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you are on YouTube, if you're on Twitch, that follow button, we definitely appreciate it. If you're on Twitter, watch this thing. You can definitely watch on that side. I just won't be able to see your comments. So if you want to be part of the show, make sure you hit that transition over to the YouTube side. The link is in my bio. Here we are. My bad for yesterday. Something came up. We couldn't do the post game. Game preview. But we here today. Make sure y'all take a look at the All 32 side of the Trap or Dive that came out Wednesday, man. I think what did we ask? Buffalo. Dang, what is the question? I always draw a blank when I look back at the topics. We just be talking. We just be talking. Dang, it's about to kill me. Where is that, John? Uploads. Videos. Dang, I'm taking too long on this too. I don't know how I done dropped the ball. Oh, the Bills. I did. I wasn't tripping. The Bills. And some other stuff. I don't know. I done lost my damn mind. Let me get back to the show. All right, so we missed the film session on Wednesday. Monday nights are terrible because I got to go into the office on Tuesday, so I have absolutely no film for you on a Wednesday. Not a complete tape, so we're going to go ahead and start off the show with the good and bad. I'm sure at this point, on Friday, you all were able to kind of get an understanding of how the game went to this point. However, if you haven't, I guess that's what I'm here for and what we're here for, to talk a little ball. And obviously, we're going to preview that Houston game, man. I think too, before we even start, like, I have a hard time accepting the fact that this is a trap game, right? Drake made it make sense for me in a good way, and I always knew this, but I forgot. I guess I was caught up in the moment. This can't be a trap game. It's impossible for this to be a trap game. What has Washington done this season from an overall standpoint, not just the past few weeks, but what has Washington done from an overall standpoint to be anything more than a 3-point favorite against Houston? It's not a trap game. Washington hasn't established himself as a dominant team. And just because you beat Philadelphia doesn't mean that you should be favored by 7 points on the road. How does that even work? Matter of fact, I'm about to look at Houston Texans home games. They are 1-7-1. How many times have they been favored at home? Right? And how many times have they been underdogs at home? And it's been, look at me, I'm rapping. The first game of the season, Indy was 7 points. But I think that's a line that they thought Indianapolis was going to be good. So let's go ahead and keep pushing beyond that, right? Indianapolis was 7 points to start the season. Let's see what the Chargers was. I think the Chargers was going to be another High spread too. 6. And that's fair with the Chargers. 6 points in week 3. That's fair. Or week 4. Let's keep going. Who else they had? Tennessee and Philadelphia. We know Philly was 13 points for obvious reasons. That's fair, right? What about Tennessee? Tennessee was 3.5-point favorites. I'm not tripping, bro. I'm not tripping. This ain't no trap game. This ain't no goddamn trap game, bro. So yeah, it's the number is right. The line is right. It's not a letdown. I mean, it's a letdown spot. In the sense of, you just came off an emotional dub, but it ain't no trap game, bro. Not from a point line, not from a point standpoint. It ain't no trap game. All right. What's going on, Hawk? Morning Trapper, man. Let's go. Let's go and get to this film session. Like I said, I know I'm a little late, but we're gonna do it anyway. I think the biggest thing with this game is like, because you're not gonna see too much from the run game. In terms of like explosive plays. And then offensively, from the pass game standpoint, I think a lot of the run concepts and their attention to detail allowed like those second level openings to open up and some shot plays to open up and things like that. And then Terry, took over on some slant routes, some slant concepts too. But we're going to go ahead and get into everything right now. Where is my videos? Let me get my situation proper view. How we going to do this? Listed? Nope. We ain't going to do that. We're going to do details. Yep, there we go. And sorted by the date. There we go. And then get this thing going. All right. My play set. Boom, there we go. All right, so we're going to encapsulate some of the highlight plays or some highlight moments of the game and go from there. I think where is okay. So on the sack, I think this is the sack. Yes. Let's start with the sack. Hawk, I see you. Yes, sir. It is an important game. We're going to start with the sack. So that's play 4. Play 4, 1st and 10. Obviously, it led to the fumble for Heineke, right? We'll go ahead and get into that right now. Let me share my screen for you all. Let me exit out of something right quick so I don't mess this up. What's that? Play 28. Okay. All right, boom. Let's go ahead and get into the screen. Window, boom, and boom. All right. So here we go. Let's go ahead and run through this thing right quick. First and 10. This is after the penalty extends the drive for Washington. So now you have a 1st and 10 on the very next play. And here we go. We know what happens. Sack, fumble, Philly recovers. They end up going down to score and give themselves a 7-point lead. Obviously, you'll see here what happens again. And boom. And he fumbles. All right, so look. What I like about this play, really, to be honest with you, in this 1st and 10 situation. Oh, shoot. Let me exit out of there. Give me 2 seconds. Damn it. I messed something up. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. Bring this up. And scroll down. I messed up, y'all. Give me 2 seconds. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Okay. All right, boom. So here was what I like about this play. Let's go ahead. Start it from the top. At this point, it's man coverage, right? And Washington, from time to time, they haven't really ran. I haven't seen it a lot lately, but they did run this a few times against Philly the first game, right? And I think they're trying to expose the linebackers just in coverage and situations like that. So cover 1 is a really good way to run, or a really good time, an opportunity to run your angled routes out of the backfield. And you have that Curtis Samuel running that Texas route in a sense, right? I don't know if it's an option. I can't tell. But either way, with the middle of the field open, you have your crosser, and then you have your over route, your crosser by Logan Thomas, your over route, Cam Sims, and I think this is Antonio Gibson. Yeah, I think it's Antonio Gibson. just running the clear out. So essentially what it does, the concept is allowing Curtis Samuel to get this ball right here on the hash and cut up field. You got 23 going the opposite way of where the momentum is going, right? You have Terry on his cross, you have that safety crashing down, so there's nobody really to account for the middle of the field. So again, in cover one, a cover one situation is a really good concept, and he has separation, right? Curtis Samuel does. Right? His feet is done. He stopped moving his feet, so he doesn't really have an ability to transfer his momentum and really get back in on the play, like to the point where he could break it up. So he's in position to at least try and make a tackle attempt after the catch, but there's going to be a catch. So the fumble happens. That's why you don't see like too much effort at this point. But when he's able to cross his face is when he creates that separation. And now we're looking at Taylor, right? In the backfield, he's getting ready to throw the ball. But he's hit. So now let's go ahead to the other side and you can see a better angle. Obviously, Charles Leno at this point, when you're looking at how he, like, I don't think he sees the guy until late, right? You can see his helmet move. I think he was maybe looking inside out for any pressure. And then he realizes Sweat late. So at this point, he's already out of position. He doesn't have a half-man relationship, essentially having like that hip-to-hip type of thing. How do I explain that for you all? I guess essentially like what you would want to see. Let's see if I can see it on the other side. So half-man will kind of be somewhat to what Lucas is doing on the right side with, I think that's Robert Quinn or maybe Hassan Riddick. Where you have that half-man, you cut off that rush angle, it's hip-to-hip. In a situation like that, that is half man. He established that half man. You're able to defend the inside rush path, right? And if he goes outside, you're able to wash him around this arc right here, the pocket arc. So he established a half man relationship. Leno is late in seeing Sweat, so he's out of position and he's not able to recover. He wouldn't be able to recover. Sweat wins immediately. So you kind of see right here. Now you're looking at Curtis Samuel. The ball is about to be out, and he has a separation. Like if the ball is right here at that hash mark, it is a completion, and it's going to be on the linebacker to make a play. But if he's able to catch that and break this tackle, or maybe he misses the tackle, you cut up field. That's a touchdown with Curtis Samuel speed. So that's what you get on play 4. Let me stop sharing, and boom. Where are we at? Oh yeah, let me back out of this. All right. Now let me go ahead to boom, there we go. That's much better. All right. And then scroll down here. That's the first drive. And obviously, as we know, after that one drive, things kind of turned up for the offense in a good way. So there's a lot of good that came out of this. And what I really want to show and show some love is how the offensive line and tight ends played in unison at the point of attack to really establish an effective and consistently positive ground game, right? Oh shoot, I forgot to show the play. Here we go. Let me see something right quick. Make sure this is straight. Oh yeah. Okay. All right, we're gonna come back to that one because B-Rob missed a little cut. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, so next up is play 6. Let me show. Boom, boom, and boom. What just happened? Here we go. All right. Play 6. I feel like I'm a little rusty. All right, let's go ahead and run it. So like I said, tight ends, you're gonna see a constant theme here. Matter of fact, all right, boom, here we go. All right, so what you're seeing here, right? Bates, and Logan. I think Logan had, I said Bates. Armani Rogers and Logan Thomas here, right? But what I really like from the game is how effective Logan, Rogers, and Bates were in the run game, right? So right here, what you're seeing here is a wham and a slice/kick out block, right? So Armani takes it on. Technique could be better, but being able to cut off the path for the linebacker or the defender is still equally as good if it gets the job done, right? So you get that happen on 91 or that's not 91, that's Fletcher Cox. But then you have Logan Thomas taking on 43 in the hole, gets him off balance, right? And now you cut up field, you get yourself a good yardage gain. But it doesn't stop there with the tight ends or the linemen, right? One of the bigger things that I'm against for Washington is how Trey Turner plays on the second level. It's not necessarily how he helps in his combos, right? This right here between 78 and 53, that is a really good combo block between those two. And what you're seeing with how 78, right, Cornelius Lucas is fitting, who is that? The 93, whoever the 3 tech is, the 3 technique. Turn them inside, right? And look at this point. Eyes on second level. So you have a good angle on this combo block because you all were able to successfully get the 3 tech out of his gap. You get the 3 tech out of his gap. You have 82 filling in on the second level, 43. And then you have Lucas climb up on the second level, take out 57. Could have been much bigger if they didn't run into each other, the Dax Mill and Lucas, right? But what you're seeing is really good push from Trey Turner at this point. You have backside seal from your center, Tyler Larson. And you're good money. The only issue is obviously right here. This guy was able to come in and make a play. So it was a really good run. It was a really good execution up front, or solid execution up front to really establish that ground game, at least on this play, showing how the tight ends were able to execute their spots, but also the combo blocking between these guys, right? It doesn't stop there. Where is... Yes, here we go. Another one. Boom, pause that. Let me get back. And here we go. Present. Boom. All right, let's go ahead and run it and we talk about it. So, context, 3rd and 4, right? Oh, there you go. It shows you right there, 3rd and 4. They converted how many third downs again? Washington? I think the biggest thing, what's going on, Keith? I see you play. Good morning. Good morning to all the morning trappers. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We definitely appreciate that. But one of the biggest things on this game was converting third downs and getting to third and manageable situations. But also, how do you execute? And one of the things, again, here what you're seeing is dominating at the line of scrimmage, but you're running back, churning, moving those legs, getting that first down, extending the drive, right? Like, it's a unison thing. The running backs, I think, did a lot of work. They had a lot of work, gained a lot of tough yards on this day. But if you can, again, successfully get that double team on the first level or combo block on the first level, you are in good shape. Now, pay attention to this. The line of scrimmage is, I don't know what that is. That looks like the 44. That looks like the 44 right here. So you got the 1 tech, right? Or I guess a 2-eye and Fletcher Cox. Another, like a drive, a double team, just driving them. You're not even focused. You're not even focused on climbing to the next level. You're trying to get Fletcher Cox off the ball. You're trying to get him driven back so he can't make a play on the football and just drive. So good job. Again, this is tough yards. You're not expecting anybody to make a break unless Philadelphia completely just whiffs on their assignments, right? And that's where Curtis Samuel comes in. So you're going to see him motion. And you're going to see some more plays as we move along, right? Where this motion is affecting that second and third level. And here is the idea and intent to get Curtis Samuel in motion after the snap to have those linebackers flowing out of their gaps. Same thing. You want 43 out of his gap. You want 50, whoever that is, 57 out of his gap, right? You're able to do that for a short period. And all you got to do, ram it right where they move Fletcher Cox off the ball and get that first down. So again, tough yardage, very good execution, very good double at the point of attack just to drive, man. You're hip to hip between 69 and 53, hip to hip, driving off the ball. That's perfect execution. That is exactly what you want to do against Fletcher Cox in that situation, especially if you're going to run at him. We're going to run at Fletcher Cox. We're going to make sure that we get this first down off him. Can you make a play, Fletcher? Don't look like you can make a play right here. Don't look like you can make a play right here, buddy. Yo, what's going on? What's your shot master? Like I said, what's up, Keith? Appreciate you checking in. Shot master, what's going on? Good morning to all the morning trappers out here. Let's go ahead and keep it pushing. I think that was what, a 3rd and 4. Now you have a 2nd and 10 situation, right? Let's go ahead and get this game. Let's get this thing on right quick. That play 12, yes sir. And then keep this going. We're going to go ahead and show this one and get to the screen. Boom, here we go. All right, let's go ahead and run it and then talk about it. You have, again, play 12, 2nd and 10, right? I think you get 8 yards on this, right? So look, I know I didn't say nothing. I just realized that. But what you're seeing here, again, is another combo of help or between 87 and 78, right? So you got John Bates and Lucas, right? So again, what you're seeing, a solid combo, but really John Bates at the point of attack, driving 94 off the ball with 78 eyes on second level. And then outside of that, you got a pin or 62 trying to pin, right? And turn them inside, or turn them to the backside of the play. And he's successful. And you got 2 pullers on the left side and Norwell and Lucas or Leno. Able to get hats on the ball, right? And you see 78 climbing to 57, but 57 ultimately is able to get outside of the blocks. So very good play. Like you have a 2nd and 10 situation and you have a play that ends up getting you either I think this was a 8 or 9 yarder, I believe. 8 or 9 yarder, something like that. But look at that, man. That is again as good as it gets. That's good ball. Like you driving Fletcher Cox off the ball like that. I said 94. I meant 91. Like John Bates is digging in this shit. No homo. I ain't mean to say it like that, but look, I'm excited. I'm excited. But yeah, man, it's really good football right here. You get a second and 10 situation, and you say we're going right back to the run. It don't matter what's going on. Jay Tyler, what's going on with you, player? Good morning. Good morning. Where we at? 1st and 5. Where we at? Play. Did I do the second? Oh yeah. I didn't skip a couple. Yeah, drove him back to Cali. That's funny. Cause I don't want to go through. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Where is? Let's go show a little bit of Taylor Heineke love right quick. And his execution, man. Him and Terry had a day. All right, here we go. I think truly this is just a really good call from these guys, right? So it's a coverage read, and basically I think this ends up being a quarters coverage. Yeah, you got a quarters coverage right here. And I think what's really good from this is understanding 2 things. Taylor understanding that this safety, and well, both these safeties is just read, right? Like, how are they playing this? Ends up being a too high. You got the middle of the field essentially open, but you have your quarters, your quarters, defenders, and your cornerback and your safety both taking this post vertically, which you're supposed to, right? But in your quarters coverage, you have a void on the sideline. These areas on both sides, like, that is always going to be open. So essentially, what's supposed to happen, you can tell based on how Darius Slay is reacting, he's matching. And he's expecting something to break outside, but nothing does. So essentially, you get all this separation between Darius Slay and Terry McLaurin. You have these guys executing what they're supposed to be executing, right? If he carries vertically, you're rolling with him. So good job by Taylor. Good job by Terry to really recognize that these two defenders are carrying vertically, so you have to get under them and stay flat, essentially. And that's what he did to get the ball. You get a first down conversion on a 3rd and 2 situation, right? That's important as well. Your 3rd and 2 conversion, moves the sticks, easy money. Joe, remember Bates was the best run blocking tight end in the NFL last year. What's going on, kid? How you feeling? Good morning. Good morning to all the morning Travis checking in. Good morning. Good morning. We are just breaking down. I'm making up for lost time Wednesday. Really hard to break down film when you're in the office on Tuesdays. So I had nothing for you on Wednesday. We're breaking down the film. We're going to transition straight into Houston and Washington right after this. So think of your keys for the game, everybody. Think of your keys for the game, man. And let's talk about them. Probably about 20 minutes or so. So here we go. Nah. This is so the cover forward. I mean, cover forward. So when you carry vertically like that, that's kind of what they're supposed to do. I don't think he saw that over route underneath him, and that's kind of what put them in conflict and created that open void. Where are we at? Dotson processing. Yes, we got to show Dotson. J Dot came back and made an impact on his one catch. But I think this is really good though, because matter of fact, let me show the this is really good because this is a 2nd 11. I think this is their one lost yardage situation that they were talking about when they had one lost rush, one negative rush game or rush attempt, right? So now you're in the 2nd 11 in the red zone where we know that they have struggled to put up points. So how do you kind of win in this situation, right? 2nd and 11, what happens? Let's go ahead, run it, talk about it. All right. So let's go ahead and start out with where the hell you at? Okay. So Philly's in the cover 3. You got your single high, you got your deep third over here. You got your deep third over here. If anything carries vertically, you're on that. And then you have your flat man, you have your hooks, right? Your hooks right here. And then you have your flat man if anything carries out. So flat man in decent position, right? Because both these guys and Jahan and Terry are carrying vertically right now, right? So his idea or his assumption is Darius Slay has this out or has this receiver. He doesn't know that Terry is carrying vertically as well. So now you put Darius Slay in conflict, right? You have your single high, prevent anything from getting in the middle of the field. He's in decent position, but you put Darius Slay in conflict because now with your route design and your route combination, you have you have an out and you have a corner. You're forcing Darius Slay to choose and essentially split the difference, right? You have to split the difference here. So either way, and the smart thing to do really from Darius Slay is what he's doing is like, I'm not giving up a touchdown. So he's leaning more towards Terry McLaurin, but you kind of see by his body movement, right? Look at his body movement, Darius Slay. He's in conflict. Like, it's really obvious to tell. Like, he doesn't know how to kind of split the difference. He doesn't know where Taylor is throwing the ball. And either way, Jahan Dotson was the right decision to make, right? So at that point, you kind of see the reception, but we're not even done here. Like, that's from the Taylor standpoint. Jahan Dotson, right, understands. Oh, shit, I didn't mean to do that. Understands, like, he has good processing and understanding what kind of technique that Darius Slay is playing. So how do you help your quarterback out? Is to manipulate Darius Slay's blind spot. Darius doesn't know where he's going, right? He only has eyes on the quarterback, but if you have your back towards your receiver, you kind of lose where that man is supposed to be. So he kind of sees it, climbs towards the sticks, sits at the sticks. The ball is right there for him. So that's good from Jahan Dotson understanding where he's supposed to be. That's good from him recognizing the DB technique and where he's supposed to be, right? And really putting extra conflict on the cornerback. And obviously a good throw under pressure right here. Cornelius Lucas gives up a pass rush from Riddick, but he's able to get the ball out. So that's really good from all fronts. 2nd and 11 ends up being a 1st and goal inside the 5. That's a really good play from Jahan Dotson. That's a really good play from Taylor Heineke. Logan Paulson mentioned increasing this guy is cover 3 and cover 4 beauties. Cover he struggles with his cover 2. Where we at? Oh yeah, this is the one I wanted to show you all. This is the most glaring like idea of what they wanted to get accomplished in the run game, right? And it worked really well. It should have been a house call. And I actually think this is the next play. So let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, so here we go. All right, so let's go ahead and run it back. All right, so you saw that. I don't even know why I started out like this. Let me just start from the beginning again. So essentially, I did what you're seeing is Dax Milne, right? His motion is able to more so show like this is window dressing essentially. Like I want the pre-snap motion to get the defense flowing and adjusting to the motion and adjusting to the new splits, new alignment, right? However, send Dax Milne back, get them flowing in one way, right? Have Curtis Samuel run a misdirection in a sense, right? I want Curtis Samuel flowing the opposite way of where Dax Milne is going. And I want confusion on the second level. Right now, as we pause it, you got 37 or whoever this is going one way to the right. You got linebacker going to the left. You got 43 trying to read his keys, but he don't know where to go yet. So now you hand off to AG, and you have 43 going right. He's leaving his gap. He's still lost. This cornerback, this defensive back, whoever this is, and you got 57 vacating his gap, right? So we're breaking all this down in real time. Now you get to see how everything works out. And that should have been a house call. But this is their goal. This is what they've been trying to do throughout the game. When you use that motion, that pre-snap motion, and then you use a post-snap misdirection to get somebody flowing in another way. Now, 78, I think Leno or Lucas did a solid job. I just think he had bad luck because 93 fell to the left and was able to make a play on the football. Right? So I think that's kind of what happened on this situation. 53 is climbing to the next level in terms of Trey Turner. And then you have 78 reach blocking, but he's not able to really secure it. He throws him down, but he ends up getting in the play. So this is really good misdirection from Scott Turner. This is really good execution from the offense, and getting these linebackers vacated out of their gaps. That was a house call. It should have been a house call. Ends up getting in at the 1. I think Antonio Gibson ultimately scores the touchdown. So that was a really good play for Scott Turner. That was really good execution from that situation. Where are we at? So I'm gonna show these two plays in unison, right? Is this it? Yeah. It's 3 plays actually, because for the most part, I think Taylor did a solid job on Sunday. I'm not going to give him too much credit because or excuse me, let me clarify. I'm not going to give him tons of credit. I think he executed in the offense well. He played with some good anticipation, but I think that he kind of got cocky a little bit. Maybe. I remember last week, everybody, we were talking about that term bird dog, right? Just staring down your guy. You don't give a damn what anybody else is doing. I want to make sure that this guy makes a play. So I'm gonna show these 3 plays in unison, consecutively. We get the negative out of the way, because these are still important. These are flaws in this game, but it's like they're not going anywhere. So we have a few more games of Taylor Heinicke where you have to live with the decisions that he makes. All right, so let's go ahead and get into these right quick. All right. And then get back to some of the key moments on both sides. Like I said, we got about 15 more minutes of this. Boom, present, and boom. So there's a sail pass and a cover 3 situation. You have solid protection up front, right? So essentially, what he's doing is trying to carry that safety over to De'Ami Brown's side, right? As he runs his over, right? And you have your backside dig to the play. That's his intended target this entire time. He ends up sailing it, right? And it would have been a pick if it was an accurate pass. Like, plain and simple. Would have been a pick of his accurate pass. But here's 2 things that really hurt Heinicke on this play, right? You can tell that he's processing it in the sense of, I want to manipulate this single high. I want to manipulate him because Terry is my go-to. That's why I want to manipulate. However, it's showing that he has like his helmet, right? It's showing that he has eyes on De'Ami, but truthfully, De'Ami's open. He's open. Throw the ball. Throw it to the sideline. He's not gonna be able to recover. Throw it flat. De'Ami runs a good route where he can go chase it if you throw it out here to the logo, right? Throw the ball. So that's one thing. The dig is not open. But if you're not going to throw it to him, you have your check downs. Logan, Armani. Throw it. So that was just a bad read. That was a bad decision. And you can tell like by his decision, or by his helmet, like he's not necessarily looking to throw to De'Ami. He's showing his head movement to influence that safety. Right, ends up being an incompletion. We'll go straight into the next 2 plays. Hey, Shotmaster, I see you, big dog. I'm about to get to you on that one. Where is? Okay, here we go. So again, same thing in terms of like how he's processing this, right? This one, remember, we mentioned bird dogging last week, staring down your guys, right? Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Almost ends up being an interception, right? Cover 4 situation. Now that's the timing of the pass is perfect, but you gave no influence to either of these safeties, right? Like you're just staring down your guy. You're going to go to him all the way. Almost interception, right? And you would have thought that he learned from that, right? There's no reason why you should be throwing that, but it don't look like he learned from that because shortly, probably about 30 plays later, because they done ran 1,000 plays that game, right? 30 plays later, you get the same look, and now you're running it from further out. I think this. Oops. All right. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. Where is, I didn't notate it. Okay. Where is the, give me 2 seconds. Something happened. Oh well. All right. So here we go. 30 plays later. Same thing. Now people are going to talk about him selling the football. None of that matters. Like, don't let the type of ball that he threw distract you. It was a bad decision. Like, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was, or whatever his name is, he's going to get to any type of pass that he throws, he's going to get there. Same thing. So picked off, staring down your guy, you give you try to influence him in no type of way. And you just say, F it, I'm gonna throw the ball. Sales, interception, end of story. So those are the 3 plays, right? You kind of seeing 2 things. One, at times he stared down Terry McLaurin. Doesn't matter who's looking at him, doesn't matter what the safety's doing, doesn't matter what the linebackers are doing. I'm gonna just throw that bitch. And I'm gonna give Terry a shot. And then you see a situation where, or Curtis Samuel, because he did it to Curtis Samuel as well. Or you see a situation where he's processing something in terms of trying to influence the safety, but he's really not reading the play. And that can get him in trouble as well, because he doesn't know exactly what's happening on the backside. He's just trusting that his receiver's going to win and that the play is going to be available to him. So the sale of the pass ultimately saves the drive, but it should have been an interception. Okay. So those are our 3. Samuel was open on the playbook. What's up, little one? So Shop said, do you think they should go back to Wentz if he's healthy? Short answer is, oh Lord, it's not going to be a short answer. Let's talk about it. And we'll get back to the tape right quick. Shop, I don't think that they should go back to Wentz. I have a hard time believing that. While I do understand Carson is new to the offense, and like as many times that people would have loved to tell you that he's coming along in the offseason, right? Which, you know, apparently was true. Things changed when the Bullets were live, right? And me personally, I don't think that it's worth the time to see if he's learned a lot when he's healthy. Like, there's no thing that suggests to me that things will drastically get better if he's healthy. And what I mean drastically get better, I mean his pocket awareness, his mobility in the pocket, right? Knowing pre-snap based on coverage where he needs to go with a football, right? I don't think that they should go back to Carson Wentz. But I do think that, and I said this yesterday on the Hogs Haven podcast, Taylor will be on a short leash the minute that Carson Wentz is healthy. Meaning, Taylor is perfectly fine right now to play and mess up if he wants to, right? He can be forgiven for a bad game, another bad game, because he's probably had about 3, in my opinion. Yesterday was solid. Let's say yesterday. Monday was solid. I don't think that was a bad game at all. But I think back to the point, I think that when Carson is back, they want Carson in. I think the coaches want Carson in. And that's ultimately the bottom line with this. Like, if Carson is in the game, if Carson is healthy, Taylor can't screw up. He can't afford to screw up anymore. He can't afford to have a D game. He can't afford to have a C-. He can't afford to have those and lose and the offense not put up points, right? I think that is where things get different, is when you have that opportunity to see Taylor play with Carson healthy as a healthy backup, right? That's where I think the clock starts to tick for Taylor. You can't afford to have no bad games when he's coming back, because it's like, all right, I appreciate what you did for this team. I appreciate what you did with this offense. We're going to go ahead and put the guy back in. I want to make sure that this decision that we made is beneficial for us, and it shows that we know what we're doing from a scouting and a recruiting standpoint. So the team probably wants Taylor. The players probably want Taylor. And I think Ron recognizes that the players and team wants Taylor, which is why he's not going to force Carson back once he's 100% healthy. He's going to allow Taylor to screw up so we can have the belief that it's time to go back to Carson. That's what I think is going to happen. Nah, it's cover 4. You got both. You can see the shell. You can see the shell on both sides. They had cover 4 running on those jumps. Carson can execute this version of the offense, the hand straight drop back passer. Another thing, thank you, Tyler, for bringing this up. Shop. I think 49 rushes is impossible to really expect them to go to ever, like, on a consistent basis. But to Jay's point, I agree that he can execute this version of the offense as well. Because if you're talking about an offense who, and I think B-Rob being out hurt them, right? I think B-Rob hurt them early on because you don't have this type of balance in the backfield. And even with all that being said, if you can have I said this to Montel yesterday, if you have an offense that can run like 35 times a game and have 25 rushes, 25 passes or 20 passes, then I think you're in good shape. On a weekly basis with Carson, I think you're in good shape. But you have to find a way to limit his throws. And I think Carson can execute in this offense, but I think third downs is going to continue to be a problem for him because I don't know to what degree he can really like process things when it matters, like when those critical plays come about, when that pressure comes in. And I don't think this offensive line is really improved. People are saying like this offensive line is like either improved or significantly improved. I don't think that's been the case. I think what Taylor has done is implemented the mobility factor. So Carson will probably still face the same issues in terms of pressure. You got to take all these things into account. And that's kind of where I'm at. All right. Let's go ahead and get back to it. We got a couple more plays on offense, and we're going to show a little bit on defense. John Bostic and John Ridgway and Kendall Fuller got to give that boy some credit. Where are we at? Did I show this one? Okay. Yes. Let's go ahead and show some more in the run game. I like this one. Yeah, boy, I keep doing that. Present. Hey, everybody too in the chat, make sure y'all get y'all keys for the game, the Houston game. I want to talk to you all about what y'all think is important for Sunday against the Houston Texans. So here we go. This is a 2nd and 10 situation in that first half for Washington. Remember what we mentioned about all that misdirection, getting everybody out of that second level, right? Same thing. You got your split zone. You got Curtis moving one way, right? Pre-snap. Now you got Logan Thomas slicing, right? And good, strong, solid run. Got everybody getting them out the paint, right? You got the linebackers in confusion, right? 43 is taking that crosser because this is a cover 1 situation, right? So you got Logan and 43. That's supposed to be his man. And just a solid 4-yard gain from Antonio Gibson. Like, these are the type of runs that you got all day. It wasn't that many explosive runs. All that stuff didn't really matter. Like, it's getting those tough yards. That's what they were doing. Antonio Gibson reads his right, cuts upfield, gets himself in a 3rd and 4 situation. Excuse me. I think it was a 3rd and 4. Oh, no, 3rd and 6. And the very next play, you have a big play. The very next play, you have a big play. Present video, share screen, and Okay, and boom. Here we go. Excellent play from Taylor Heineke. Excellent play from Curtis Samuel. And this was the play that made me. Actually, it was a play before this. I just don't remember what it was. This made me realize that Logan Thomas was back. I think that he's getting his straight line speed back together again. I think he's feeling more comfortable in terms of how to like using his legs, whether it's cutting or just sprinting upfield. Right. I haven't seen Logan Thomas this fast this season up until this game. But obviously this is a cover 3 situation on the defense, right? You're facing the cover 3. They're showing kind of the single high look right now. So at this point, with your trips, you got a 3-by-1 situation with Terry on the boundary against Darius Slay. And you have 2 clear outs over here, right? So you want, or how they rotate is kind of interesting, right? So you have your 2 linebackers rotating to kind of help fit this alignment, this 3-by-1 alignment. With Antonio Gibson running at an angled stop, right? You influence these linebackers, right? You influence these linebackers to get out of the middle of the field. With this 3-by-1 alignment, they have to adjust to how this alignment is. And Antonio just attacks a spot, puts these guys in a situation where they can't defend where they just left. But on top of that, you got Logan running his seam route, and you have Diami running the skinny post. It's really good. You have to allow Logan Thomas to clear up field, right, and clear this middle of the field. You have to allow, well, in a cover 3 anyway, you're gonna have James Bradbury on Diami Brown, so that doesn't matter. But now you have to have a receiver who has the tempo to execute this. You have to have the processing, right, to execute this. Meaning when I say processing, I mean like understand where your depth should be on this route. So you have Curtis Samuel running at a paced dig route, understanding that he has the time. He has to allow Logan Thomas to clear out, and he has to get to a spot. Just get to a spot. Don't worry about like how the route is ran in terms of like your cut. Just get to a spot, and that's where that dig comes in. So that's really good processing from Curtis, and that's a really good throw under pressure from Taylor Heineke. And then get the additional yards and get out of bounds. And here's what you get up front. I forgot who lost this. Oh, that was Larson. He lost immediately. That boy lost immediately. So there you go. That was a really good play from both Taylor and Curtis, and essentially Logan to make sure that he has that clear out. Larson was a bull matador. Yes, he was. He was, man. He was. Where are we at? What's up, girl? All right, we're about to go outside in a second. Give me a little bit. Give me a little bit of time. All right, here we go. Let's show the big play. Show the big play. We got two more plays on offense and a couple plays on defense. Where are we at? Where is? Here it go. Here it go right here. Here it go right here. Present. And boom. Let's go ahead and run this thing. Probably the best play. I mean, second best play of the game, right? On the offense. We're gonna show the best play of the game after this. But simple run, right? But you got some combos up front, and then you got Brian Robinson obviously displaying, his abilities. You got your good foot, you got your foot quickness in the hole, getting skinny, right? And then your lower body strength to really drive through defenders and carry them essentially for like 5 or 6 yards, maybe. So up front, here you go. Sam Cosmi and John Bates are going to combo Fletcher Cox. Cox is lined up as the 4 tech, or 4-eye in a sense, right? All he has to do, or John Bates, again, eyes on the second level for John, but let me help my teammate out and help Cox or Cosme fit Cox. So gets him inside, and then at that point, let me go ahead. Cosme's just taking him for a ride, driving him off the ball. He doesn't have any balance. He doesn't have any leverage, right? 91 doesn't. Just take him for a ride. Get him out the paint. So now, again, let's go ahead and keep going to the offensive line. And so you see 43 again. Bates, eyes on the second level, get that fit. And now let me lock up 43. And everything else is on Brian Robinson at this point. Everybody's holding up in a double team, right? 95 is doubled. He ain't going nowhere. Getting skinny, making some people miss in the hole. And then just keep moving the feet. Easy money. Easy money. That's good from the offensive line, right? Good from Brian Robinson. Getting those extra yards, getting those tough yards, right? All of that stuff is important, and how it accumulates to the fact that we're going to dominate you in the ground game. It don't matter if we get a 2-yard gain. It don't matter if we get a 3-yard gain. It don't matter if we get a 7-yard gain. We're going to come right back to it. Good luck. And we're going to definitely keep coming back to it if you can't stop us behind the line of scrimmage. Good luck. And last thing on offense, let's go ahead and get into the big play. The big play. The big play. Boom, 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 boom. All right, boom. Easy money. Easy money. All right, so this is an actual byproduct of kind of how, Washington was executing to this point, right? So if you can see, let me go ahead and get back to. All right. So as you can see, you got 1 tight end, 2 tight ends, 12 personnel, Brian Robinson in the backfield, Cam Sims out there with Terry McLaurin. The alignment alone, the personnel package alone can indicate that this is a run play. So what does Philly do? Let's have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the box. Or 7 in the box, 8 man near the line of scrimmage in run support. You have a single high up top who's on the boundary side, far away from Terry McLaurin and Darius Slay. In theory, and not even in theory, what you're going to see here is a late rotation back to the single high. But he don't know where he's going. Who is 22? 22 don't know where he's going. He don't even know that Terry McLaurin is on the other side about to take off on Darius. He has no idea. But you see on the second level, at the very least, how this run action and how this personnel package influencing these guys. They're down. They bit. They're at the line of scrimmage. So anything behind them is money. But you see Terry McLaurin, right? He takes that single move inside release, right? Takes that jab step outside. And now you have acceleration and foot speed. That's all you have. He gets up out the paint. And Heineke drops a dime in the bucket. That's an elite adjustment to the ball. Over the shoulder, hand in his way, sustains has ball security on contact with the ground, right? All of that stuff is good at the catch point. Like, that is a very difficult catch to make. He's a professional receiver. So I'm just saying, in theory, like, you try to catch that. That is a very difficult catch to make. So what you're seeing here is how the run game influences these guys, right? Influencing the Eagles and how they kind of defend against it. So it helps when Terry McLaurin is able to beat Darius Slay off the line of scrimmage with his release. Easy money, man. That's the excellent timing of the call by Scott Turner. Excellent execution from Terry and Taylor. And it gets the defenders out of position, man. It's really good. It's really good. 22 is Epps. Yeah. Whoever the hell that is, Epps. He ain't that good. He ain't that good. Yes, he did. He did cook Slay. I do want to mention though, I think that matchup is so interesting because Slay had a rough day. He made some plays, but Slay had a rough day against Terry. And I think that's a testament to two things. One, Terry knowing Slay at this point, but then also how good Terry has become. Like, he's a solid receiver. Very good. And I think he's climbing in terms of the level of respect that he's getting from a playmaker standpoint, but also just his skill set. Rio, what's going on with you, player? Good morning, man. How you feeling on this good morning? And good morning to everybody that just checked in. The Morning Trappers, bro. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you are just checking in, we're just covering up, closing the book on Philadelphia since we didn't have a film session on Wednesday. And then we're transitioning to Houston, man. Let me know what y'all 3 keys are in a second. Just think about them because we're going to talk about it all. I want to hear y'all 3 keys for Sunday. How are we going to get this dub? How is Washington going to get this dub against the Houston Texans, man? I don't think this is a trap game. I think this is a very how did I phrase this earlier? I think it's a letdown spot, but it's not a trap game. Washington is not in a position to be trapped. They are 5-5. They are 5-5. They are not 10-2 or 9-1. Yes, sir. What's going on with you, Peacecraft? Appreciate you. It's not that Howell can't run the offense. It's Howell isn't ready to run the offense. That's it. He ain't ready to run the offense yet. Rivera gave a good breakdown this week. I don't know when it happened. He gave a good breakdown this week of Howell's progression to this point. He said a lot to do with footwork, and basically pocket presence. I don't have the words in front of me. I don't have the quotes in front of me. So I would just suggest you all look that up if you are interested about Sam Howell. And you can get the quote, and maybe it's online. I can look it up. We don't know what Howell is. We won't see him until he's in the playoff picture. I ain't gonna say all that. That's not. I ain't gonna say all this. They've been battling. I just know that much. Slay said on this podcast he just had a bad rep. Said he slipped at the start, and that's valid. That's fair. That's fair. Because you can say like at the snap either. Because two things. Peace. That's valid. Either he slips or the release takes him off guard. And it did look like he slipped. And I know Slay isn't one to really make excuses, right? So I'll give him that benefit of the doubt. I ain't gonna talk too much shit about Slay. Slay is a solid cornerback, a very good cornerback. So yeah, we'll keep it pushing. And on top of that, the reason why I give him slack is if you seen his interview on the Pivot, right? He talks about his bad moments. If y'all think about the game where DK Metcalf and the Seattle Seahawks came into Philadelphia on a Monday night, he talked about how bad he played. Like DK Metcalf got him out of his head. He had a terrible game. He got cooked, and he talked about how bad he got cooked. So I'm willing to give him some grace on that one. Feeling glorious. We can't lose this team. Getting the best team losing the worst. It's totally Washington thing to do, but I won't believe we be letting that down. Hey, kids, man, save it. We're gonna talk about it. It's like, now I'm gonna come back to your point though. Kev, I think that's obviously a good one. It was kind of a rhetorical question. Understood. Oh, so you know what I'm talking about then. All right, cool. Where are we at? Oh, defense. All right, we got a couple on defense, and we're good. Where is my? Did I save this? I did. I'm just in the wrong spot. Play 12, play 15. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna show Ridgeway some love, man, because there's a lot of people who I seen really cuss out this man, John Ridgeway. They cussed this man, John Ridgeway, out after a penalty against the Minnesota Vikings. They have said they want him cut. And I'm not talking about just one person. I have seen people who I actually appreciate and respect say the same thing. I ain't gonna say no names because then that's gonna get me in trouble. And they wanted this man, John Ridgeway, gone after a bad rep on special teams. But the issue is John Ridgeway has been playing good before the Vikings game. He's played good in the Vikings game. In the game after the Vikings game, he's still the same player. So shout out to everybody who said F John Ridgeway, cut his ass. Because he's still making plays. So you're gonna have to keep that campaign up, keep that same energy the rest of the season. And I want to make sure that you say F John Ridgeway when he's making plays too. Say F John Ridgeway. I want him cut when he's making plays too. You got him lined up as the one tech right here, right? Taking on a double team / combo. Gets Kelsey up off him, makes a play. And they held on this play. The Philadelphia Eagles did. They held on Casey Toohill, and both of them made a play. John Ridgeway and Casey. So shout out to everybody who's saying F John Ridgeway. And I want to make sure that you all say F John Ridgeway when he makes plays too. Say that out loud. Say it out loud. F John Ridgeway if he makes plays. I want all you all who did not like him after he made one mistake against the Minnesota Vikings and you wanted him cut. Continue saying F you. 27-21 last stream. Hey, Alto, you said hey, it was a couple people in here who had Washington winning. It was a couple people in here. Oh, Pro Revo said exactly. Jar development is gonna be very interesting. Where we at? He has assurance from Mathis if he's still hurt. It's gonna be interesting to see how they implement both those two. Because Mathis is already back moving. I don't know why they put him on IR. Maybe they just had a plan. But it shouldn't have took like for MCL or whatever it was. It shouldn't have put him out the whole season. That was weird. All right, let's keep it pushing so we can get to this Houston game right quick. And boom. So Fuller made an excellent play because he saved somebody. He saved somebody. All right. So earlier in the game, so this is play 15. So there's been 14 plays before this. Obvious. Oh, surprise. Like y'all can't do math, right? But my point is saying that 14 plays before this, Jalen Hurts has been hitting in the zone voids, right? He's been processing things quickly. He's been reading the keys and understanding where he needs to go with the ball based on how my offense and how my scheme, how my route concepts influence the defenders, right? So what you're seeing right here is a cover 2 defense. It's cover 2 invert. You have John Bostic, right? So here's your underneath defenders. You have Kendall, Bobby McCain, Jamin Davis, and Benjamin St-Juste. And you have 59 carrying anything vertically in the invert or Tampa, essentially. I said invert. And he's carrying anything, right, to help out his safeties. So what you're seeing here is obviously Goddard is left uncovered, right? But he's left uncovered. Actually, to be honest with you, he should have been the read. Let me be clear. There's 3 things going on, so let me just go ahead and keep going. Goddard is open, but Bobby McCain leaves his zone void. And the reason why I'm saying he could have been the read is because he split the difference between Bobby and Jamin. So he could have been the read, could have been a reception. Now you have the flat man out here And Bobby McCain is trying to jump on the pass. He's trying to make a play. Bobby McCain is. And he's trying to anticipate that he's going to check down to the flat. But he's not checking down to the flat because Bobby McCain left his void. He's left his zone. So there's a void right there. He's throwing to Devontae. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Damn it. Where we at? My bad. So he's throwing to Devontae in this instance, which leaves that ride open. So Bobby McCain chases the flat man instead of staying in his zone with Kendall Fuller on the sideline. Like, there's no need for you to vacate this zone unless you're trying to be greedy and make a play. So Kendall Fuller ends up saving Bobby McCain here. He has good zone eyes, obviously, right? Reading at this point with Jalen Hurts' arm cocked back, right? He knows at this point it's firing. So identify your man and drive on the ball. And that's exactly what he does. Solid play. Excellent play. Excellent play. Excellent play. Excellent play by Kendall Fuller. Ridgeway, nice. Those was tripping. That Sunday, Taylor wasn't going to do shit even if we did get the ball. Hey, man. Hey, you let people talk about it on Twitter. They say, ain't no telling. Ain't no telling. Outlaw, yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning to all the morning trappers just checking in. Drew just subbed. Appreciate you, big dog. Welcome in to the Washington Commanders Morning Show. You are a new sub. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7 a.m. on the Trapper Dive YouTube channel. We do have the Trapper Dive podcast every Tuesday and Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. All 32 every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. And we are here post-game, right after the games. So 4:30, 4:25, whenever they end. Monday or Sunday nights, whenever they end. 4 o'clock, whenever they end. Post-game, right here as well. So appreciate you checking in, Drew. Good morning to you all. Bro, y'all were chatting so much gas about Fuller last stream. I told you, Cats, he always pick his game up late. Every season can just book it. Hold on, player. Hold on. Ain't nothing changed with Kendall. I think the conversation should more so be about like where he's good at on the field. Like, he's very good. His play recognition is still there, right? And what you're seeing, because I'm gonna show you all another play. And is it actually the next play? No, but we're going to show it. You got to see like where he's susceptible to getting beat, right? You get an athletic receiver on him and you threaten him on vertical routes, he's going to be in trouble. You give him a situation where he has to compete on the ball with his back towards it, he's going to be in trouble. He ain't fast no more. He can't really keep up with certain receivers. So that's all that stuff is still relevant. You gotta understand like when he gets beat and how he gets beat. He's not gonna get beat. And matter of fact, the other play that I'm about to show you all is gonna show you the same thing. His play recognition is very good. It's still good. It hasn't gone anywhere. Yes. Yes, that's true. He's had his moments. Peacecraft. He's had his moments. We gotta understand too, as we do these film sessions, everybody, this is like the most important thing is like, don't ever draw conclusions on a week-to-week basis, but understand what you're seeing from a season's point, like as the weeks go on, who's been most consistent. But to that point, 100% agree that we were just praising Bobby last week. So that one moment wasn't really good for Bobby, but it was very good for Kendall Fuller. Let's go and keep it pushing. Where we at? Derek Forrest. Yes, I like this one. You know what's also manipulation? I'm gonna show you all how crazy people manipulated this play, right? Because they were trying to blame AJ Brown for this. Let's go ahead and run it. And when I say they, I mean Philly fans. This is a really good play from Benjamin St-Juste and Derek Forrest. So this is the play where if you all seen the screenshot, right, of AJ Brown, he had the ball in his hands. Let's go ahead and run this from the top. You got a cover 3 situation for your defense, right? And I think if you all paid attention throughout the season, 2 things throughout the season, but also heading into the first game at FedEx Field, and how Jalen Hurts attacked the Minnesota Vikings, and also what he does when he has those one-on-one situations with AJ Brown. He's going to throw that thing. That crosser, right? They're an aggressive offense. That crosser is just there to slow down the safety. Either he bites him or he slows him down just in a tad bit, right? But Derek Forrest isn't fooled. He still has his keys, right? He understands that crosser is not on him to pick up. It's on that slot man. Who is that slot man? Kendall Fuller. I said slot man, but he ends up taking them. They have the new new responsibilities based on the motion. That's the best way to say it, because I don't know how they kind of communicate via language, right? But he understands that he has to take over this man. So he's not worried. Derek Forrest is worried about doing his job. He trusts his teammate, Kendall Fuller, to take this crosser. And now you have Benjamin St. Juste. I'm sorry. Now you have Benjamin St. Juste showing good patience at the line, right? Physical. He's not going to let AJ Brown push him off. He's going to match his physicality. Let me use my hands just the same way you're going to use your hands. Slows him down. And now you have a foot race right here. Derek Forrest makes the play, gets the interception. Easy money for these guys. Derek Forrest played it well. He trusts his back pedal, stays in his back pedal to the point of the launch, and commits. Finds the football at that too. It ain't just, let me just get there. I'm going to make a play and find the football. Easy money. Easy money from Derek Forrest. Easy money from Benjamin St. Juste on that play too. Really good. Really good. Really good. Oh, we right there. Can't run. He said, just watch. Ooh. All right, nah. It ain't nothing that changed with him, bro. He said the 993s, yes, sir. This thing taking forever, ain't it? 993. God damn. Yeah, Cat never been a burner. Fuller shouldn't be on the go. Shouldn't be the go-to corner though, like he was asked to be here. I mean, that part is important. They tried to replace him. That's what William Jackson was here for. And maybe Benjamin St. Juste, with his presence, they can try to move on from Fuller. I think that would be the best way to say it. All right, here we go. I got one more. How many more do I got? Yes, it's the last one. We gotta show some love. Show one more bit of love to your boy. All right, this is for Al too. This is for Al right here. Easy money. Easy money, right? Easy money, man. So let's go ahead and run this back. This is a third and 3 for Washington, and for the Philadelphia Eagles. And this off coverage, in a sense, for Kendall, is more so to protect himself to the sideline. And you'll see this, right? At the snap, he's playing off coverage with inside leverage. Anything outside, he's crashing on, right? But he has good eyes on AJ, and knowing AJ, right, he sees that slant is breaking in. On a 3rd and 4, Kendall wants you to run that slant. He's giving you the slant for a reason. He's baiting them. And then boom. Play recognition. Understanding where you're supposed to be on this play. Understanding who you're going up against on this play. AJ Brown is what we call him, a slant guy. That is what he does. That is what he do. And they know that. We're going to give you the cushion, right? I'm going to bait you into running this slant, and I'm gone. I want the quarterback to know that I'm anticipating a breaking out, and I'm gone. Easy money, lockdown. Like I said, when he understands the concept, when he has eyes on the football, and he understands who he's going up against too, that is easy money. You're not beating him on this. You're not beating Kendall Fuller on this. So this really highlights what he does well. Really highlights what he does well. I loved that from Kendall Fuller. I love that from Kendall Fuller, man. Yes, sir. There you go, Al. Hey, we gotta give credit when it's due and give blame when it's due. That man had a hell of a game. He had a hell of a game. Okay. So let's go ahead and trend. That's gonna wrap it up for the film session. They had a solid job, man. I think what he had, like 1 catch on the day, 2 catches on the day. It was a team effort, mind you. But that was a really good rep. Let's go ahead and transition to Houston, man. I saw some comments earlier, and everybody that's in here, make sure, if for all the new people that's just checking in, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you are new, we are 7 away from 1K. 7 away from 1K. Can we get there? Now let's go ahead and transition to the Houston game, man. If you haven't yet, let's go ahead and get your keys to the game. Where are y'all at? What are y'all concerns? What are y'all confident in? How's this game going to turn out in your eyes? Let me see where I saw some more. Saw some comments. He said it's Brandon Cooks playing. I think that's to be determined. I know he practiced yesterday. Oh, here, yeah, Rio. There we go. So here's my thing. And I agree. Matter of fact, let me take some water right quick. Had the mic on mute. I agree with everything Rio's saying, man. Washington can't lose to the Houston Texans. I don't think Houston is a terrible team. I have lost faith in Davis Mills, though. I tell you that. After watching him this season, I have lost faith in Davis Mills in terms of being anything. We about to head out, Dakota. I got you. But I think for Washington, the most important thing is understanding how important of a win that was for them, right? I don't have any issue. This is a sidebar. I don't have any issue with how they celebrated against Philadelphia Eagles. They ain't the only team or the first team to ever celebrate a regular season win. I remember specifically the Pittsburgh Steelers. Do y'all remember when they went live? AB went live in the locker room of them celebrating. And then you got Chase Claypool over time, who has always been in the locker room celebrating after wins. You beat an undefeated team in your division, a team that smoked you earlier in the season. Celebrate. So you can't go off an emotional win and have this letdown in a spot where Washington as a team really need to win. You can't just get to 500, right? You have to continue to ascend. And you have a good opportunity to do that against the Houston Texans. Record-wise, they ain't good. They fold in the second half. But that first half is going to be just as important, because if you give them confidence that they can compete, then you in trouble. You are in trouble. So you have to find a way to overcome the blind spots, right? And the way to overcome the blind spots of a Houston team who really has nothing to lose is execute from the jump. You can't afford to have those simple mistakes because they're 1-7-1. Can't afford that. You got to do better from the jump. And I think they're doing a really good job, or they did a really good job against the Philadelphia Eagles to kind of turn the tide after that unfortunate first draft. Where we at? Houston picked up Eno Benjamin and Amari Rodgers. Yeah, but they ain't really threats. And I specifically mean they ain't really threats this week either. You have Rex Burkhead and who's the other guy? Damian Pierce. I forget his name, bro. I forgot that fool name. Damian Pierce. Let me go ahead. 2 seconds. Boom. There we go. So they have an option at running back. I don't really think Rex Burkhead is a threat at all in the run game. But I think for Washington, Damian Pierce is going to be the biggest thing. They're going to try to run the ball in terms of like early on. Like if they can establish a ground game, they're going to stick with it. And I think one of the more things, like you got to get them out of rhythm. It's not hard to get them out of rhythm, right? Their defense isn't that good. So you can get them out of rhythm and force the ball in Davis Mills' hands, which is what a lot of teams been doing, because he's going to give you that one or two opportunities like Taylor Heineke to turn the ball over. All-Pro Revo. I like that. All-Pro Revo. And Percy going to eat. Those two cooks, Pierce, all we need to worry about this week. So Laramie Tunsil's still on this team. And Laramie Tunsil's a solid guy, but he's not going to make up for all of the offensive line. I don't know how good that offensive line is, but from a collective standpoint, I don't know how good that offensive line is. But I do know one thing. Actually, I'm over here thinking out loud. I really don't see a reason why they wouldn't be able to win their one-on-ones against that Texans offensive line. I don't think the interior is that strong. You may have something on the edge in terms of their tackles trying to make some plays. I really don't see a way. This should be a comfortable win. It ain't my job to not sleep on the Texans, right? I'm speaking from a X's and O's standpoint. It ain't my job. It ain't our job to sleep on the Texans or not sleep on the Texans. That's their job. This shouldn't be a 3-point game or a 1-score game. It shouldn't. That don't mean Texans are terrible, but it also means that if they can't compete in the trenches, what are we doing? What are we doing? All right, so Pierce, Holcomb back possibly. What's the word on Holcomb? Matter of fact, what is the word on Holcomb? Commanders, Texans injury report. What is the alert? Injury updates. We ain't got nothing yet. As you won the party all season, we need their offense to join the party. You not see Percy with Cheesehead. I expect us to win, but the game will be close because that's what we do. Taylor Heineke block party. Houston YouTubers be like, make Taylor beat you. But think about it though. Oh, Derek Stingley's out. Yeah, and that's the point, Kevin. We don't do things comfortable. Like from an X and O standpoint, it shouldn't be a close game. They're out of sorts in Houston. Like, I don't think they have a true identity. They just have a player that's really good in Damian Pierce. Like, it's not like they establish a ground game every single week. Like, he just goes off. And I don't know if that makes sense to everybody, but he just goes off. So that is important to note. We don't do comfortable. Kevin is absolutely right. They got to find a way to really solidify everything now to where is Houston at. This comment. What's up? We're gonna go outside. I know I keep saying that, so I guess we need to hurry up. To this point about Taylor Heineke, I think that should always be a game plan for a team. I think the issue is though, I don't really think it's an issue, like a huge thing, because Taylor gives you those opportunities. Like we talk about it, staring down receivers. I'm getting too cocky, right? Getting too infield or playing, even getting too cocky or playing hero ball without staying within the structure of the offense, right? So I don't think it's going to be a bad thing to say make Taylor Heineke beat you. But what I think is going to be most important in Washington is, can Scott Turner come to grips or an understanding that this team's identity revolves around running the football. That's going to be the most important thing. Kevin is right. And Houston should be trying to make Taylor Heineke beat you. But Washington also has weapons if you want to stack that box. You saw what happened against Philadelphia. We're going to take our chances over the top. Going to Taylor. Going to Terry. You can also go to Jahan. Those are your two vertical guys. Curtis Samuel can split the seams in the cover 2 or in the slot. Tight splits. He can do that. But talking about from a boundary standpoint, good luck. If you want to stop us, if you want to stop Washington, good luck. Put that 7 or 8 in the box. I'll take my chances with 3 outside guys. And maybe they disguise their coverage, right? Like the Carolina Panthers do a really good job at disguising coverages. Like they'll show 7 or 8 in the box, and then they'll do spot drops. And spot drops is like, they're in zone, but they just run to a spot. Like, so they, for a quick second, they may even have their back towards the quarterback, but they're really like, they show 8 at the line of scrimmage. They may send like 6, or they may send 4, or they may send 3, but you don't know where those 3 or those 4 or those 6 are coming from. And that's on the offensive line to pick up. But to my point, and what I was saying, if you're going to put that 7 or 8 in the box, Houston, good luck, because we're going to take our chances with Jahan and Terry going over the top. You may want to disguise your pressure, which they're trying to do. And if y'all pick them up, okay, cool. But I don't think y'all gonna be able to really afford to do that, because if you stuff the box, we still may take our chances in that run game. We may try and get an extra number on the left side of the offense. Or we may try to get an extra number on the right side of the offense. We may run some misdirection to get y'all out of sorts. So I think the ground game is going to be key for Scott Turner. How are you able to establish the ground against Houston? Are you willing to understand that this offense is best when you can establish balance and take control of a game? You don't need to put up 40 points to stroke your ego. 40 points is really good. That you could put up 40 points by doing exactly what your team is really good at or most effective in. Now we're talking. If Chase plays, he needs to be in third down personnel. That is interesting. I guess we'll find out today at the end of the day with Chase Young, right? Ron Rivera did say that Chase Young was going to end up doing damn, I wrote an article on it. How the hell did I forget already? Ron Rivera did say that Chase Young was going to be on a snap count. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. He did say he was going to be on a snap count when he comes back, if he comes back. So I think that's going to be the obvious part, is more so when is he going to play? Like when in the game is he going to play? Is he going to do first downs? Is he going to do pure rush situations? 3rd and 10s, 3rd and 7s, 2-minute situation where you get a couple. Well, you can't do 2 minutes because you got to get him off the field. Eventually, the point is he's going to have to get his win back. So he's definitely not going to be playing over 50% of the snaps. He may be playing like 30, and maybe playing like 30% of the snaps in multiple weeks until he gets his win together. So, Peace Crab, to your point, it's going to be interesting to see how they use him and when they use him. I agree. Definitely not red zone. Unless, again, obvious passing situation. No, he has not. No, he hasn't. He's never been over 500. You know what? If we want to be technical, he went 1-0 twice. He went 1-0 twice. That's the only times he's been over 500. Do you want to count that? The only time he's been over 500 is when he went when he beat the Eagles in 2020, and then when he beat the Jaguars in 2022. I get what the tape says on Taylor Heineke, but I trust the cats in the locker room over the tape. My knowledge is on 4. JDR spot dropping Allen to mix up offensive lines. He's doing that with Payne and Allen. So like what they're doing is what is it called? I have it in my phone to help myself out. It's called a creeper. You have a creeper, and a creeper is essentially what you just said, Kev. You have a second level defender, whether it's John Bostic or Jamin Davis, which is typically Jamin over the last couple of weeks. You have Jamin Davis on a blitz, and then you have John Allen or Deron Payne selling a rush, and then or occupying a blocker to allow Jamin Davis to get that favorable matchup either on the linebacker, tight end, center, and or going free and then dropping back. So Kev, that is what they're doing. I just think what they need to do, and they're not cornerbacks, they're not linebackers. They got to find their landmark a little bit quicker. They got to find their landmark a little bit quicker, man. Lovie Smith, an old school Tampa 2 coach. Yes, he is. This game means everything in the building. Gotta have this one sense of urgency. Get coach over 500. That needs to be a campaign for Ron Rivera. Somebody message him on Twitter, be like, "Hey, bro, if there's any other time, or if there's a one good time to get over 500, this is the week you do it. This is the week. This is the week, shawty. Go ahead and get over 500, bro. We need that. We need that, man." Ron Rivera really needs wins to work. Ron and company does not want to go in 2023 with Taylor Heineke and some rookies facing a job interview and a new owner. Kyle Allen is telling them our plays. I forgot about Kyle. That's an interesting angle. I don't know how effective it'll be, but they do that all the time. That's an interesting angle. Okay. Defensively, we talked about Dameon Pierce. I like Philip Dorsett, but Philip Dorsett isn't a factor in their offense right now. And I like Philip Dorsett from the standpoint of he does a lot of good at the catch point, right? Everybody knows he's fast, but he lacks creativity in his route running. Not the best at changing direction. And sometimes he's not that good in terms of like the feel for zone spots. So I say all that to say, whatever shots or excuse me, the bigger plays for Philip Dorsett is going to be on the sideline down the field. Like you may have he runs like short level routes like those hitches because he's fast. So he runs short level routes to kind of offset his speed, right? He'll run those hitches. May have some curls. But the comebacks or breaking outs or go routes is where his money's going to be made, where his bread is going to be buttered. And for Washington, I think it's important to understand that Philip Dorsett is really good at the catch point. That may be a play. That may be an opportunity for Houston if they can get those matchups on Kendall Fuller. That's where Dorsett is dangerous. And obviously Brandon Cooks to this point, he's a little frustrated, but I don't know how he's gonna perform. I don't know too much about Brandon Cooks in terms of watching him. I had to scout Philip Dorsett, so that's kind of how I know about him. Obviously, we know OJ Howard is out there too. He's strong. He's strong. I think that's the best way to describe him. He's strong. That's the best way to describe him. Then you have Who's the other player that I'm thinking about? Let me go back to it. I think they had another tight end that was on my mind. Who is that other guy? Oh, no, this ain't him. Oh, well. Okay. I don't know who Nico Collins is, bro. And I don't think Jordan Atkins was the guy I was thinking of either. It may have been. I don't know. Taylor Heineke said the game ain't slowed down still. Watch the cat. When the game start to slow down, I still ride with the kid. Wentz a bum. He said bye. Nah, I get where Kev coming from though. He's just saying that he can't afford Ron Rivera, and I agree. Like, so it's bad optics for Ron, right? To go into another quarterback search. I think it's inevitable. I think we all understand that. But he can't afford to go back into a quarterback search because, like, you're on quarterback number 8 or 9, if not 10. If you get this new quarterback, that's a lot of quarterbacks in 3 years, bro. Like, if you had Taylor Heineke for 3 years because you couldn't find nothing better, that's one thing. Or if you had Dwayne Haskins for 2 years and you moved on from him after that, that's one thing, right? Because it shows that you're consistent in terms of your development and your trust in the player, right? But you've been moving on, whether it's from injury, inconsistencies, or like spot duties. You've been moving on from quarterbacks like it's nothing, and that's been the biggest problem in Rivera's tenure, is not being able to find that quarterback. And you're going into year 4, possibly on a whole nother quarterback again. I agree exactly, or I understand what Kev is saying. Foot is good at stopping those. Playbook got to slow down for Wentz. I'm not a Wentz guy, but I still think he's better than Taylor Heineke. All right. Let's close out on this, because I gotta take this damn dog out before she destroys my carpet. What is if they win this game, are we talking playoffs? You got Atlanta up next. At 6-5, you got Atlanta up next. Like, are we actively talking about playoffs? Like, I know it's been a thought, right? We even talked about it on the podcast Tuesday. But is it an active thought to the point where we're discussing it weekly? Playoff situations, playoff scenarios that's going to get Washington in position to have a home? Nah, that's not going to happen. That ain't never going to happen. Like, the division is gone. But are we going to talk about like trying to get that 5th seed? Like, what's our most favorable? Are we talking about that? I have Washington winning in Houston. On paper, I think that they should be able to win by more than 7 points. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's a close game. And obviously, that's a terrible way to hedge. That's just my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a close game. I think Houston doesn't suck. I don't think Houston sucks. I just think Houston isn't good. But Washington is no better right now at a 5-5 team, no matter who they played or no matter how many games they've won over the last 5 weeks. They're playing better. They're ascending. But you got to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's a close game. Houston plays close games. So I understand that. That wouldn't be surprising. But are we talking about playoffs, man? What's the word? He said 2 more wins before I believe playoffs. So 7-5 for peace. 2 straight. That's what we talking about. 7-5, or we talking about 2 more wins like in the next 3 or 4 weeks? We got to beat San Fran. What's going on, Tyran? Appreciate you checking in. Good morning to everybody that's checking in. The Morning Trappers. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you are just checking in. We are 7 away from 1K, I believe. 7 away, bro. This is incredible. The biggest game is definitely going to be San Fran. I agree. Peace. That's gonna be the biggest game for Washington. It's gonna be a tough game for Washington too, because I think San Fran is probably like a top 3 NFC team. I think it's they got off to a slow start, so I don't think they still have a chance to win the division, right? But in the NFC, I have Philadelphia. Oh, I said top 3. I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna walk it back. I think Philadelphia. My bad. Philadelphia, Minnesota, Dallas, San Fran, Giants, and then Tampa. Tampa's 6 right now because Tampa, I don't trust them just yet. They're playing better, but I don't trust them just yet. So they're a top 4 NFC team. The San Francisco Niners are. So I think he says 2 straight. Okay, Peace, I got you. You said 2 straight. Yeah. That's gonna be a really good game. When do we play them? When do we play these fools, man? When we play these fools, man? Oh, we got them. Oh, damn, that's the game. I'm gonna be in Alabama. But we are gonna be talking. We're gonna be talking. That's a Saturday game at 4 o'clock. So we're gonna be here post game. I just realized I'm gonna just be out of town watching that jump. Okay. We got them in week 16. But before that, Atlanta's gonna be big. So to who is it? To Ty's point, he said we got to beat San Fran before I believe it. That's in 6 weeks. We got to beat Atlanta in 2 weeks. That's gonna be important. Houston, you can afford to lose. If we're talking about big picture, you can afford to lose to Houston. But you got to keep up with the rest of the people that you're competing with. Those 7 seed or that 6 seed, 7 seed. Get confused. You got to keep up with that 7 seed and that 6 seed. You can afford to lose to Houston, but you can't at the same time because you're right there in the thick of things. Yeah. Okay. And then obviously you got the Giants twice. So damn, now that I think about it, you got the Giants twice. You got to be able to split against the Giants because you never know what happens. Like the Giants may mess around and lose a few games down the road, but you got to find a way to split against the Giants. You can't get swept. You got to beat Atlanta and you got to beat San Fran. You can afford to lose to Dallas. From a fan standpoint, I'm sure nobody wants to get swept by the Dallas Cowboys. That's going to be terrible. Right? But if you take care of Atlanta, you take care of San Fran, you split against New York, I guess you do got to beat. Yeah, you can't afford to lose. What am I talking about? Why didn't nobody say anything? Yeah, thank you. Hey, thank you, Al, too. We can't afford to lose Houston. I'm wrong. We can't afford to lose to nobody. You can only afford to split against New York because you played them twice. But you can't lose Houston. You can't lose Atlanta. You can't lose San Fran. You can't lose Dallas. That's 4 games. That gets you to 9-8. You can lose to Cleveland in theory. That's an AFC opponent. Don't nobody give a damn about them. Damn. All right, to y'all point, I'm waiting till Atlanta, the result of the Atlanta game, and we're talking playoffs. That Atlanta game gonna be big, man. That's before San Fran. That's gonna be big, bro. I love what Seattle doing, man. 2-0 the next 2 weeks. I agree. Here's my thing too, and I want to clarify because I said something on Tuesday, and it may have got misconstrued because I was talking about playoffs, right? But I think the biggest thing, and I think the most important thing here, is like while we're in or discussing the playoff situation here, I do think it's important to kind of think about the big picture. It's always important to think about the big picture. I think what winning does is makes you vulnerable, right? Like you drop your guard down a little bit, right? And I actually think Dre said in his response that he said, "F it, like I want to shoot for playoffs because winning is fun." I don't want to be miserable doing this show. I don't think anybody wants to be miserable watching or even tapping in or even miserable with the team. I think winning is important. Winning is entertaining. Winning is fun. But I think big picture will always get in the way of fully enjoying everything. That's from a draft placement standpoint. That is from an off the field ownership standpoint, right? And I'm not saying tank. I'll never say tank. I ain't on that. I ain't on that wave. I just think the more games you win in a situation or a season, particularly or specifically like the Washington season, I think that's where the problems kind of run into one another. I think that is where you think about when the offseason comes around. You think about, damn, we had such a fun season, but we got to face the fact that we still don't have a quarterback. We got to find a way to build up this offensive line, this interior. Can I trust Chase Roullier? He's been injured 2 seasons in a row now. He's on IR. Can I trust Chase Roullier at center, or should I try to find somebody who can move on? Tyler Larson played good. Why extend him? If he can stay healthy, then we're good. What are we going to do about cornerback? Can we keep Kendall Fuller and keep Benjamin St. Juste? Who's going to be our slot man? We can't keep putting these safeties down in the box. I like the rotation that we have, but we got to find some cornerbacks. I like what we got a defensive line. And I'm okay with the linebacker position. It's growing. But we got to do something about this secondary. We got to do something about this offensive line. We got to do something about this quarterback position. That is a lot to take on in one offseason. What do we prioritize? Damn. We sitting at the 17th spot in the draft, and all the quarterbacks, all the top tier quarterbacks are going to be gone by pick 10. What do we trade to get inside the top 10? And do we go top 5? What are we willing to put up if our player is there? Or do we just sit back, see what we got, and if all of our players, all of our favorite players are gone at the quarterback position, we're going to go ahead and get offensive line. We're going to roll with Taylor Heineke for another year. Or at that point, they said we're going to keep Carson. And we're going to roll with Carson for another year. Do you understand how painful that'll be? That'll be so painful, bruh. That'll be so painful, bruh. Hey, I ain't say I want to tank. Don't make that mistake. I ain't say I want to tank. I'm not for tanking. I wouldn't say I want us to lose in terms of like losing all the games. I just think that the more they win, I'm saying the more that they win, right? You get yourself out of position. So it's like it'll be very convenient. I think this is the best way to say it. It'll be very convenient if they lost. It'll be very convenient if they lost. Not that they should tank. We need all the W's like that, the commercial. Or like Jameis Winston, man. Go ahead, eat them W's. Pete Carroll said, after tank, watch me clean up the draft and make a run with my backup quarterback in the elite run game. You know what's funny? I actually don't think that he viewed Geno Smith as a backup. I think he viewed Geno Smith as that dog quarterback that he is right now. But we didn't know it because Russell Wilson was in front of him. I think that's what happened in Seattle. And I think that's why, if you paid attention in training camp or preseason to Seattle, like a lot of people weren't surprised that Geno Smith won the job. That boy is cooking, bro. Folks on the draft, build up that O-line secondary, make another run at it next season. You also gotta like Ron, and I'm cool with Ron as a person, but I ain't that sold on him as a head coach. That's another thing. He ain't. I'm telling you. You talk to them people out Seattle, it wasn't Drew. He lost the competition. It was a competition. Where we at? Frank Wright for OC, keep Carson. Peachcraft. I don't like this wave. I don't like what you're doing right now. I don't like what you're doing right now, Peachcraft. What's going on, Hoopers? Good morning, big dog. He said Sam Howell not an option to you. I don't think that he is an option. I think if they go with Taylor Heineke next year, because remember, they got to extend him. And that'll be interesting to see how he approaches the offseason. Like, a lot of people saying that this offense is best for him. In this situation, is best for him. You don't know that. In theory, it is because Scott Turner knows him. And he knows his offense. But you don't know what else is out there for him. Scott Turner ain't the only offense out here in the NFL that is ran like Scott Turner's offense. Like, there are a lot of different offenses, a lot of similarities across the league that Taylor Heineke would be very comfortable moving on, especially if they pay him. Y'all gotta understand that Taylor Heineke is going to be a wanted commodity in free agency. I'm not saying he's going to get paid $10 million a year, but right now he's making $2 million a year. That boy is going to get at least $5 million. And I said between 5 to 6 or 5 to 7 on Twitter. That boy, Taylor Heineke, is going to get paid. Like, paid within context. So you got to understand, he's going to be on the move. So, Hoopers, to your point, you said Sam Howell not an option. I don't think that he's not an option. But you got to see that boy play. And depending on how this season go, maybe you give him the last 4 games, maybe you give him the last 2. Depending on how the season goes. If they end up getting eliminated from contention within a decent amount of time, like if they're still in the contention in the last 2 games, you're not going to see Sam Howell. But I think what you do see from Sam Howell will be next year. If you don't see him on the field, what you'll do see from Howell will be next year in a competition if Taylor Heineke stays. Or he may just serve as a bridge guy and Sam Howell may just be the backup. Point being, I don't think we're going to know anything about Sam Howell for another year or so. Nah. He ain't go ahead and look that up. But they was in a competition. And Drew lost that jump. Yes, sir, the Hooper, man. Hey, look, man, hop. Oh, it's been a little minute. I know you're doing your thing with your coaching. So never mind. I was like, man, look, the fellas miss you, bro. Walker Mill. Frank Wright for OC. If we keep Carson, don't think that will happen. No, we are not doing that. What is wrong? You in peace. You two. Y'all two. I don't like the way y'all thinking, bro. I think you ride with Scott Turner, but pay the kid his magic money if he makes the playoffs. 8-4 in his last 12. I don't like what you're doing either, Al2. But to your point, I'll say this one thing, Al2. To your point, 8-4, the record speaks for itself in free agency. That's how your agent markets you. Statistically and record-wise. He wins, or he's winning in recent games in Washington. That is going to be presented to teams. And it's on them to do their due diligence. But he's going to have a market. Keep high on the reps till year 3. That complicated turn on the shadows. Whoever we have a QB long term fixing the interior line will make any of them look better. That I 100% agree with. All right, come on, girl. I 100% agree with that. Okay. Schedule wise, first and foremost, it's a long string, a very long string. I appreciate everybody who tuned in from start to finish, man. But it's time to enjoy your Friday. But nah, I appreciate everybody who tuned in from start to finish. If you're just checking in, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That's definitely appreciated. As we get up out of here, Sunday we'll be back for Houston, Washington post game. Right after the game, you can find us right here on Chopper Dive. AJ, Dre, and myself will be breaking down the game and our instant analysis And then we'll be back on Tuesday as well for that one. The week following, so the week of the Atlanta game will be difficult for me. Completely difficult, telling you all that right now since we have some numbers in here. So just don't forget, the week of the Atlanta game, I'm on work travel from Monday to Friday. So I don't know how I'm gonna do this. All right. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. So that's gonna be tough. Even the film sessions, that's gonna take some time. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. So we'll figure some things. I'll try my best to figure some things out. But if you all remember, I was on work travel a couple weeks ago, and I was out the whole week. So yeah, just keep all that in mind as we continue to move forward that week of the Atlanta game. And I'll remind you all as well. But appreciate everybody who's tuning in, man. Again, back Sunday post game, and then we'll be back Tuesday for the recap and so on and so forth. Y'all take it easy. I see you in there, man. I see y'all. Peace, care. Appreciate you, big dog. Tyrant, appreciate you, big dog. Y'all be easy, man. Enjoy y'all weekend. Stay safe. All that good stuff. Peace.